Hello everyone, my name is Serge and welcome to another Epic 7 video. For today guys, I wanted to do something a little bit interesting. I was at work all day today and then I saw that there was a new balance adjustment preview. So I wanted to jump in immediately, but you know what? I was like, you know what? Why don't I just do a, first impressions video, like quite literally, right? So I haven't seen this yet. I don't know which heroes are on this yet. So I wanted to go through this with you guys, okay? So man, all I can hope and pray is that we get an ill enough buff, right? I think I know it, you know it, everyone knows it, right? Ill enough buff, please. She needs it, man, and I want to use her. I want characters. I want to use characters that I find interesting and I like their design of. So hopefully, if it's not ill enough, someone that needs it, please. But okay, let's jump in, man. Oh boy, here we go. Ambitious Tywin. Did he needed a buff? I mean, he wasn't used that much, but I feel like he was okay, right? Like, whenever he worked, he really did work. And whenever he didn't, like, he was, obviously it didn't work. But I think that was a nice kind of in between. Melissa, again, bro. What? This is what, her 5th buff, dude? Like, holy crap, man. Jesus, who is Melissa paying for these buffs, man? Another one? Jesus. Kisei, okay. I mean, that could be interesting, right? Whatever they do to Kisei. Fairytale Tenebria, huh. That's pretty cool, though. I mean, she's a limited, though, so if she gets a super nice buff, wouldn't that be kind of unfair for those who don't have her? Because, I mean, you have to wait until she comes around again, right? So, damn, this could be spicy, man. If people don't have her and she becomes OP as hell, people are gonna be mad. Mui. Who the hell is Mui? Well, I guess she needs the buff because I have no idea who she is. Oh, she's that circus-looking character, right? Oh, okay. Well, yeah, I mean, I never see her, so she probably does need a buff. And then 3 stars. So we were skipping 4 stars now? Are all 4 stars balanced? Are all 4 stars good to go? I guess, right? Oh, boy. Well, let's dive in, man. Artifacts, guide to a decision. I forgot which one that is. Wall of Order. Have no idea which one that is either. But we'll see what they do, right? Okay, Ambitious Tywin. Okay, since a lot of the times I forget which one is skill 2, skill 3, blah blah. I do like to bring up the characters. Let's see. That way we know what their skill 2 and 3 is. So Ambitious Tywin is what? Is he a knight? Light knight, there you go. So Icy Sword Storm is S1, Battle Command S2, Flash S3. So quite literally S1, S2, S3. Okay. So he now attacks with a sword with a 75% chance to provoke for 1 turn, removes 4 souls from the opponent. All this is the same. When the caster is enraged, ignores effect resistance. Damage dealt increases. So the only thing is they're adding, what, like, enraged to him? Okay. So S2, right? Has a 100% chance to dispel 1 debuff from all allies when an ally is debuffed after the caster is attacked and enrages the caster for 1 turn. Okay, so this is how you get enraged, right? So this is basically like they're trying to make him. I mean, he used to already be kind of like an Edward, right? Where you put this unit to scare away your enemy from debuffing you and your entire team. But I guess this just makes him a little bit scarier, so that way if you're, if he's able to get enraged, he ignores Ephrasis, so he's gonna be way more consistent and way more threatening. Okay, let's see what else. Attacks all enemies with an instant sword storm with an 80% chance to stun for 1 turn. When the caster is enraged, ignores Ephrasis. So this is the same thing. Damage dealt increases, so this is the same thing. So they just added an enrage to him. What, to make him more consistent? I mean, if the reasoning is like, oh, well, he's going to be enraged all the time, so you can build him with more bulk or something. I mean, yes and no, because you still just want to build him with like at least 100 effectiveness, right? So, I mean, it's nice that he's going to get the ignores Ephrasis when he's enraged, but you're still going to have to build him with effectiveness regardless, I think. So Awakened. Attacks enemies with an instant sword storm with an 80% chance to start. Decrease defense, okay, for 2 turns. When the caster is enraged, ignore Zephyrus. So now instead of decreasing speed, he decreases defense. So that's definitely a much better. I think this is the buff that's making him better than he used to be, right? The whole enrage is nice, obviously. And then defense break. So this is probably the 2 biggest takeaways from this. Is it gonna make him a little bit more consistent? Yes. Is this a crazy buff? I think it's just gonna make him do the same thing that he already does. I guess a little bit scared with the decreased defense, but I don't know. Again, the only reason why maybe I'm not as excited or happy with this, even though it's good, is because there's definitely a lot of other Moonlight heroes that could absolutely use a buff on like a character like this. I think it's just mainly because doesn't Smilegate think that debuffs are weak? So I think they're going all in with debuffs, right? They're just gonna debuffs are so weak, guys. I need to buff them so hard that they're going all in. But okay, whatever. So let's read this. Ambitious Tywin is a highly versatile hero who possesses the ability to continuously dispel debuffs from all allies while inflicting debuffs such as provoke and stun on enemies. Okay, removing their soul and dealing AoE damage. However, leveraging his full potential was a challenge as he requires simultaneous enhancements of several stats. I'm assuming they need effectiveness. With these adjustments, his skill battle command will remain effective in dispelling debuffs while reducing the effectiveness required, there you go, to inflict debuffs on his next attack. So again, like I said, I don't think this is going to change anything. Maybe you can go from building your A Tywin with from 150 effectiveness to now only 100, and then put some extra bulk. Maybe that's all this is going to do. And then decrease the defense instead of speed. So that's good. I feel like if they really wanted to make him a little too broken and way more annoying was to keep the speed down and the defense break. That would have been nuts, but maybe a little too nuts. Okay, let's move on. Melissa, what did they do to you now, Melissa? Oh, goddamn. I don't think we need to look up Melissa, do we? Let's look her up. Okay, here's Melissa. Okay, so Might S1, Manifestation S2, Blood Moon is S3. So S2, okay? So yeah, normally when you use her, you wanna do what? You wanna do S3 into S2, right? Because you grant extra turn, then you can S2. Okay. So S2. Attacks the enemy by unleashing their inner rage before granting immortality and immunity to the caster for 1 turn. This skill cools down and reset. Damage dealt increases proportional to the caster's lost health. Is that it? Wait. So this is the same. Dispels all buffs from the enemy before attacking by releasing pent-up aggression, cursing for 2 turns regardless. This skill is unaffected by elemental disadvantage. Elite or boss monsters cannot be cursed. So they increase 1 soul on her S3. Wow, guys. Oh my god, are you serious? A portion of the damage inflicted on allies by single attacks will also be suffered by the target as additional damage. A portion of the damage inflicted on all allies except for the target will by single attacks. It's the same thing. To just wait, what? Curse damage increased. So they just increased the damage? Oh man, just lazy. Again, Melissa, I feel like at this point, this is just gonna be the same, just maybe it's slightly easier to get your one-shots, but again, Melissa just needs OP gear. If you don't give her OP gear to just one-shot everything, she just doesn't work. And this doesn't help her just sort of become more well-rounded, I guess that's the word. So, man, I don't know. I guess she's going for another buff sooner than later. Am I right, guys? Oh, boy. Melissa's skill manifestation will be adjusted to inflict damage proportional to her lost health, thereby maximizing the utility of the immortal effect it possesses. Moreover, her skill, Blood Bloom, will acquire more soul, 1 more soul, boys and girls. And the curse effect triggered by the skill will be modified. Damage inflicted on the target under the curse effect will be significantly increased. I guess that's good, right? Because normally the curse it was just kind of like an afterthought of, Melissa in general. So if that now does more damage, then that could actually be something that you actually care about. However, the curse effect will no longer cause the target to take additional damage when receiving direct damage. I guess. Kisei, oh boy. Did they really just do this? Oh my god. Attacks all enemies with a side, penetrates the enemy's defense by 30 and by additional 30 when the caster is stealth. Damage dealt increase, boys. Hey guys, more damage dealt increases. Exactly what we wanted. Bear strength increased. So leap towards the enemy to attack. Grants the caster stealth and the barrier for 2 turns before increasing combat readiness by 50%. Bear strength increases proportional to the caster's attack. Damage dealt increases proportional to the caster's current health ratio. Oh my god. So what's the point of a bear strength increase when she's stealth? Man. You could 100% do something else, right? Like either give her stealth and no barrier and then do another buff, or give her a barrier with no stealth, but the barrier, I don't know, is the size of freaking, I don't know, Yulha's health bar or something. But, oh man, again, I mean, it's good, right? More protection, but kind of a pointless buff there. Awaken, barrier strength increased. So nothing changes. More damage and barrier increase. Boy oh boy. Kisei is a versatile hero who can increase the cooldown of enemies through her high speed, granting herself stealth and a barrier for enhanced survivability, as if the stealth wasn't enough, and unleashing an AoE attack in a chain that penetrates the enemy's defense. However, there were instances where maintaining stealth before using Dark Scar provided to be difficult, and the damage dealt by Dark Scar was relatively low. With this adjustment, the barrier provided by Nocturne will be strength, enabling Kisei to maintain stealth more easily. In addition, the damage inflicted by Dark Scar will be increased, improving its usefulness. So again, just more of what she already does. Man, I don't even know what could have helped Kisei more so than just more damage and a barrier increase. I have no idea. I think Kisei is a very one-dimensional hero, the way that, they built her. So, I mean, if you use Kisei, more power to you, I guess, but nothing interesting, I guess. That's the sad thing. Again, these buffs are good. They do increase the viability of these characters in one way or another. But when you just think about other characters that could have gotten buffs, it makes you so mad. Alright, Fairytale, what did they do to you? Are you gonna be OP? Attacks the enemy. Okay, so she used to attack the enemy with a 45% chance to inflict 2 poison effects for 1 turn. Yeah, that was super useless. What do you do now? Attacks the enemy with a mystical power with a 75% chance to inflict redirected provoke. Huh. Didn't they just give someone a buff very similar to this one? Didn't they buff Yulha? No, who was it? They buffed someone, they give their S1 provoke or redirected provoke, and that's all they needed, right, to be actually useful. So this is super good, because her S2, her wild card, when an ally is attacked by an enemy inflicted with provoke or redirected provoke, activates Shuffle. Shuffle can only be activated once per turn. Shuffle attacks all enemies and inflicts a random debuff for 1 turn. A successful attack against a target inflicted with provoke or redirect provoke inflicts additional damage. Additional damage increases proportional to the target's max health. And what did they do? Random debuff. Okay, so they gave her decreased speed instead of unhealable. So I think this is much better. I think decreased speed has been seeing a lot more value lately, like with Laika, for example. I've noticed that when your team gets speed increase, it's super nice, and then when you debuff the enemy's speed, is like, whew, like it changes the game completely. So maybe decreased speed is not as bad as it used to be. And then they increase the damage of her Shuffle. So additional damage kind of Meh, I mean, cool, I guess, but again, she's not used for her damage overall. She's mainly used to, you know, kind of handicap the entire enemy team right off the bat. But I really do like this buff. I mean, it's nothing too crazy, but at least she will be useful beyond using her S3, right? Because she used to use her S3, provokes the enemy, they attack you, you use your shuffle, and then that's it. She's basically useless for the rest of the game until she dies, or if the game lasts for some reason more than like 5 or 20 turns, she will get to use her shuffle again, right? But man, at least this, you can just build her super tanky, maybe super tanky, and then just have her as a debuffer, right? Like just as an anchor that debuffs the hell out of your enemies every single turn. Because if she gets to redirect provoke with her S1 constantly, she's just gonna activate shuffle nonstop, right? So that could be good. At least she synergizes better with herself, which is one of those buffs that a lot of these heroes do need. To be usable and reliable beyond their one little niche that they have. This is pretty interesting. I'm definitely interested to see how this plays out. At least you can now build her either super fast to try to catch your enemy and take first turn, or you take sort of the more surprising approach and then you build a somewhat slower one, like 220 to 40 speed, just tanky as hell, right? And you bunker down, and she's just there freaking spamming shuffle in and out. So that could be good. More ways of building her. That's always interesting. So let's see. Fairytale Tenebria is a hero with the ability to overpower enemies using her skills, Tea Party and Shuffle. Yet her in-battle effectiveness was limited to when she was unable to use Tea Party. Yeah, like use Tea Party and then she just sits there with her arms crossed, right? To address this weakness, improvements are being made to her skills. First, one pair's effect will be changing from inflicting poison, which is totally useless, to redirect and provoke, thereby increasing its synergy with Shuffle. Furthermore, the additional damage of Shuffle will be increased, and one of the random debuff effect unhealable will be replaced with decreasing speed, improving her ability to effectively contain enemies in prolonged battles. Yeah, again, I think this is the best change we've seen out of all of them so far, because again, you can take the double approach, right? If you draft Fairytale Tenebria now, your opponent is going to be wondering if she's, you know, trying to speed contest you, or if she's just going to bunker the hell down and debuff you to hell, right? So this definitely opens up some more possibilities for her. How much, though? I guess we'll see, right? Okay, Mui. Okay, Mui, I have no idea what she does, so I think I definitely need to see her here. What is she? Grass Ranger?
One eternity later.
No shot, she was a freaking warrior, man. I spent so much time trying to fight her. She really a warrior. Okay, Lash, S1. Okay, S1. Punishment, S2. And Grand Finale, S3. Okay, because I have no idea which one's S1, S2, S3. Okay, S1. Attacks with a whip with a 74% chance to inflict random debuff for 1 turn. Now it's targeting for 2 turns. Targeting is not the best debuff, but I guess 2 turns, 75. Okay. So S2 now calls upon a tame monster to attack all enemies with a 50% chance each to inflict 2 bleeding effects for 2 turns and 80% chance to stun for 1 turn. So it does the exact same thing. They increase the damage, which I don't think is necessarily all that great. I don't think she was used as a... Is she a damage dealer? Is she your DPS? I have no idea. If not, then this is again kind of pointless. So they moved her Soulburn from S1. Thank God, because this was kind of trash. Increase the effect chance to 100%. Oh boy. And a debuff for 2 turns. To now Soulburn. All skill cooldowns decreased by 2 turns. I feel like this is gonna be a requirement for her to make her work. Because 20 souls to decrease skill cooldown by 2 turns. Okay, well I guess we'll see how long are her cooldowns. So 4 turn cooldown. So if she gets skill cooldowns decreased by 2 turns, that's a 2 turn cooldown. Okay, that's not too bad. Drives monsters forward to attack enemies, dispelling 2 buffs. Okay. Increases combat readiness of the caster by 25% per critical hit. Oh, so you're gonna be able to do S3, dispelling buffs, and then if you crit all of the enemy team, you will get another turn. Which, wait, so they're increasing her cooldown by 5 turns, and acquires 2 souls now. Okay, who cares? Okay, so her cooldown is 5 turns now. So she's gonna be able to use this skill. She's gonna get another turn. That's gonna be 4 turn cooldown. And then you soul burn this, and you get a 2 turn cooldown. Huh. I guess that's cool. I mean, definitely the increased combat readiness. So you basically giving her a free extra turn on her S3. And then you're dispelling 2 debuffs. I mean, dispelling 2 buffs from the enemy, which is what she already used to do. But now she gets to cycle to her S2 to inflict 2 bleeding effects and then maybe stun. 80% chance to stun, kind of maybe. And then 2 skill cooldown by 2 turns. So I guess that definitely helps her maybe synergize way better. But I still feel like maybe you need to meet all these requirements now, right? Like, not that it's bad. Again, these buffs are definitely gonna help her if you want to use her. But with so many units out there like Senya and or Aiden, right? Units with evasion. If she doesn't crit one of them, she doesn't get to take her next turn right away, right? So that kind of hinders her whole synergy, and you have to wait for her turn again before you have to now use 2 souls. And she's a warrior, so you have to have someone with book on her team to even attempt to do this whole 2 turn less synergy. And then if you don't do this, then you're essentially getting effed because they increase the skill by 5 turns now. So this kind of increased combat readiness kind of falls on its face again. I don't know. I feel like for someone like her to be used, they just needed to keep the 4 turn cooldown, because you need to pull off all these combos, right? Get all the crits, then get the 20 soul burn, and then cycle back around to get her turn again. I don't know. Maybe they could have done without removing or increasing the cooldown, and then she could have been a little bit better. Increase the effectiveness instead of the dual attack chance. Okay, I guess that's better in general. Okay, Mui, good buff again, but I still don't think she's gonna be used because she needs to meet all these requirements for it to work. And then even then, I don't even know if she's supposed to be a damage dealer, a DPS, just debuffer, like all this again. More stun, more bleeding, more targeting. This is the debuff patch, right? The debuff patch. Mui is a hero with the ability to dispel enemy buffs and inflict debuffs, like Tywin. I guess you could copy and paste this for Tywin and for Mui. But reliance on chaining skills based on chance limits her effectiveness in battle. With these adjustments, her skill Grand Finale will now be guaranteed to greatly increase her combat readiness with each critical hit made, enhancing its synergy with punishment. However, to accommodate for its improved reliability, we had to increase the cooldown. Oh boy, right, man. I'm sorry, guys. I have to increase the cooldown by 1 turn. She's too good now. The acquired soul will be reduced, and its overall damage though will be slightly decreased. Guys, I mean, she did so much damage, boys. Like, we can't afford to, let this slide, man. Lash, which previously had limited usability due to its probabilistic nature, will not target an enemy. Which I think it's okay, right? Because target means that there's higher chances of you, like, obviously landing the hit. An enemy, when its soul burn effect, will be transferred to punishment. Additionally, we'll be changing the imprint to effectiveness, providing an increased chance to dual attack through her changed exclusive equipment. So they're making her be able to dual attack more with an exclusive equipment. Huh. With this change, we anticipate seeing Mui in a wider range of battles and situations. Hell yes, brother. In line with this balance adjustments, Mui exclusive equipment option 2 will be adjusted. So now Mui's exclusive equipment will grant enhanced dual attack to the ally with the highest attack after using Grand Finale. So after using RS3, she will get enhanced dual attack to the highest attack ally. By how much though? Increased dual attack? By how much? Huh. I have no idea. As there will be a change to exclusive equipment, players will be able to change this option for 2 weeks after the adjustments have been applied. Exclusive equipment that had adjustments made to their options and was obtained prior to the adjustment is eligible to be changed. Okay. When a player changes the options, other effects, exclusive equipment will remain unchanged. Option changes cannot be reversed. Okay, so at least they'll give you a chance to maybe pick a different one if you don't want this one. Which I guess doesn't matter too much unless you use her. Oh boy. Moonlight 3-star. Oh my lord, bro. I'm gonna read all the... Jesus Christ, man. This is way more than all the other characters combined, dude. Oh man, okay. I'm sorry, guys. I'm not gonna read all of this for a 3-star, man. I mean, at this point, we can only assume that they're gonna receive a specialty change. Most of 3-stars that are getting this massive sort of like what would you call it, like reworks, like quite literally, Jesus, man. So I'm not gonna read this, man, until they get their specialty change announcement and we can actually consider using them after that. Then they're not worth looking at. Fudge. Okay, I guess let's read the TLDR, right? Chaos Axe Sect is a hero who relies on skills that increase damage based on his maximum health, but his low damage output made it difficult to use him effectively in battle. Okay. I mean, he's a 3-star, so fucking course he's gonna be low on damage. Come on, Smilegate. To address this, the scaling of increased damage based on maximum health will be increased. Oh boy, okay, that sounds pretty cool. Providing him with increased survivability and more damage, so I assume, right? However, his attack scale will be decreased to balance. Oh my god. His attack scale will be decreased to balance out the increased health scaling. Yeah, guys, we just could not afford him making this much damage, man. Like, you see, he's being used way too much. We want to improve him, but not that much, guys. Okay, he's gonna break the game. His attack chain skill will also be improved with the additional provoke effect. Additionally, his ruin effects will be altered to increase the damage dealt by attack chain and grant the chance to counter attack with attack chain when an ally is attacked by a light elemental enemy. So I guess it's gonna be just a hero that sort of counters light heroes, because I think it's fair, right? Because we got like Aiden, right? For example, that is a massive unit against dark heroes. Same with like Little Queen Charlotte, for example. So I think it's something like it's time for dark units to strike back, right? So maybe this is gonna be one of those specialty change heroes that helps counter light units, maybe. As attack chain can now be used more frequently, the amount of soul acquired will be decreased, but his ability to contain light elemental enemies will be increased. Well, I guess that's what they're gonna try to pull off with this guy, right? Whatever the changes they made will be to sort of counter light units, because I mean, light units are pretty OP, right? So maybe we'll start seeing more of this. Okay, artifacts. Again, I'm fortunate I do not remember what these artifacts are, who they are, or whatever, but let's see. So now, guide to a decision. At the start of battle, has 50 to 100% chance to grant a barrier equivalent to 50 to 30% of the caster's max health for 2 turns. Has a 50 to 100% chance to grant a barrier for 2 turns. So you have to have this maxed out, first of all. Kinda, I mean, I don't know if you get this artifact from a hero's banner, but if that's the case, then Jesus, that's gonna be tough to 5-star this bad boy, right? And then 50 to 30% chance of the caster max health. When the caster is at max health after being attacked, increases combat readiness by 8 to 16%. Can only be activated once per turn. Oh, so increasing the barrier so that there's a higher probability of you getting this combat readiness push. Fudge, man. I don't think this is enough. You know, they changed it from 10 to 20 to 15 to 30% barrier. No, this is still trash. Unless this was you know, I think they could have they could have just made this 100%. Like just keep this 100%. I don't know. The fact that there's still a chance to proc is kind of like, I think, the biggest thing holding this artifact back in general. The barrier percentage, I guess, is good, but I feel like there's way better artifacts out there that help you with your combat readiness. And this is not even that big of a push. 8 to 16% once per turn. If this was like every, like at least twice per turn or every single time, maybe a little too broken, right? If you had max health every single time your enemy took a turn and then you got the CR push, that could be freaking insanely good, right? That means this barrier increase could be pretty amazing. And then the second your opponent sees that you have this artifact, like increasing your CR, they would immediately have to sort of target that hero, right? To start chipping on their health, so that way they stop getting their combat readiness. But if it's just once per turn, man, I don't know. Whatever. Not that great. Wall of Order. So now, at the start of the turn, for each buff granted to an enemy has a 5 to 10% chance to grant increased attack greater for 1 turn. At the end of the turn, grants a barrier equivalent to 25 to 50% of the caster's attack for 1 turn. They increased this from 4 to 8% chance? This kind of sucks, no? Because if your whole enemy team, if the whole enemy team gets a buff to each one of the units, that's basically 4 units, right? So with this, you're only having a 40% chance to get greater attack for 1 turn. And if they all get a buff, like 2 buffs, I should say, the whole enemy team gets 2 buffs on all their team. Like, for example, with what's her name? Make Chloe, for example, right? Then this will be what, like 80% chance to grant increased attack greater for 1 turn, and then a barrier at the end of the turn grants a barrier equivalent to 20 to 50% chance of the caster's attack. Man, I don't know. I think obviously these artifacts are very niche, very situational. I feel like if this was just a straight up, I don't know, 15 to 25% chance, that could be pretty solid, right? Because at that point you could almost guarantee 100% chance to grant greater attack for 1 turn if the enemy buffs their entire team, right? So this could be a no-brainer. You know, you're basically guaranteed to always get greater attack, which is pretty good. But with this, again, you're also relying on not getting your buff, so it could be pretty catastrophical. And then it's just greater attack for 1 turn, man. That's not that big of a deal. And then a barrier. Oh man, I don't see this being used either. It's kind of another one of those artifacts that was trash, and now because it had a specific niche, and the niche is still there, just with a slightly bigger chance percentage. Oh, and that's it, man. Oh boy, we've gone for so long. Man, I don't think these buffs are that interesting overall. They're kind of lazy. Definitely other heroes could have used this. Not that big of a deal. This is making characters that are already average still basically pretty much average again. So, man, well, I guess that's gonna do it for this video, guys. If you enjoyed these buffs, you know, good for you. I'm glad maybe some of these heroes are some of your favorite ones and they're actually getting some love. So, you know, let's go. But for me, personally, I don't use any of these heroes, except maybe the one I'm actually excited for is Fairytale Tenebria. But yeah, I don't know. Could have been better, but we'll see how this plays out, right, guys? But okay, guys, that's enough for me for today. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Ladies.